I've thrown on the formal attire today because we need to discuss something very important. A huge loser named Bintellect. Big goofball, weirdo, lame-mo, behemoth creep. He is a big Tik Tok creator, and that's a word I'm using very loosely here, with 11 million followers, and I'm sure only people under the age of 10 have ever heard of him before. What he's become known for over the years is looking at tweets or comments, reading them out, and then going, hehehe, yeah. That's literally it. But sometimes it's a little hard to even muster a laugh, so what he'll do is he'll read one of the comments and then go, yeah, true. And then that's the whole TikTok. But I'm not here just to give him a little wet willy and laugh at him for all of his cringe. I am here to talk about something far more degenerate. But before doing that, I'd like to give a quick honorable mention to something else this piss stain of a person is notorious for doing. Threatening legal action against people that make fun of him. I've seen a couple videos on Bintellect now, after I've been informed of the situation, so I did a little digging. Apparently when people make fun of him, he gets super offended and will either try and copyright strike, take down the video, copyright claim it to make money from it, or even go as far as to just threaten to sue the person that made fun of him. You disgusting goblin, you make me sick. You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. Now, while I do think a legal battle with Benjamin over me making fun of him would be hilarious, I still just don't really feel like showing you any of his clips because it's just going to rot your brain and it's yucky. It's just trash. So, no reason for that. Let's get into what I want to discuss, the new information that came out about this weirdo. So, Bintellect recently made a podcast, I suppose, and he invited someone on named Jordan Max, and then things got really odd. He got super hostile and she ended up posting about it, which led to this dam breaking, and we were flooded with cringe about Bintellect's behavior over the years with women. So this horny little goblin asks her before going on the podcast, do you want to make a video for OnlyFans? To which she says, when? He says, today. And then she's saying, no, you need to be tested within the last 14 days and have an OnlyFans creator account. But then he says, I mean a video for your page. Oh, what a benevolent saint. He was actually just thinking about her the whole time. He thought this would be a good opportunity for her to make some OnlyFans content with the great Big Bintellect. So she says, doing what? And he goes, I don't know what performs best on your page. I can literally see him doing this. Well, I mean, I don't know what we do. I mean, what do you do on OnlyFans? Maybe we could do that? So it's become pretty clear that Bintellect uses this podcast as a way of just fucking. It seems to me like the whole podcast existence is only here as a way of trying to get Bintellect laid. So he tries to leverage his big follower count to then invite on OnlyFans models and then ask if he can make content with them. It's pretty pathetic stuff, but we're only just beginning. He continues by saying, I was just thinking you're helping me with doing a video for my YouTube, so maybe I could help you with your OnlyFans. And she replies, I'm good, thanks. So then he goes, no worries. And then, hey, I'm going to do the pickle video with someone else, thanks though. To which she asks, why? So the pickle video he's referring to is the podcast was going to be a pickle tier list mukbang or something like that, a pickle mukbang. And it was her idea, it was Jordan's idea, and he's now kicking her out because she declined to do an OnlyFans video with him. So his answer to why was, to be honest, I thought it would just be fun to film and see where things go, but I got it. So he gets real sad and pitiful, like, no, I get it. I just thought it'd be fun, but clearly it won't be fun. I'm gonna do it with someone else then, how about that? So he goes real Neanderthal mode here. My wiener no get wet, we no eat pickle together on podcast. Goodbye. How dare you not do OnlyFans video with Bintellect? So then he says he's doing it with someone else. So Jordan, of course, gets really weirded out by this exchange. She posts it on Twitter, and then Bintellect himself, the man, the myth, the legend, reaches out in DMs to threaten to sue her if she doesn't take down the post. She even did a video proving that the DM is real from the real Bintellect account, just to 100% silence any possible doubt. Also, her response to it is great. She said, I'll just be waiting to hear from your lawyers then, which is hardcore. Obviously, Ben's not going to sue her. I don't think he's ever actually gone through with a lawsuit. He uses it to try and bully people to do what he wants. To do what he wants them to do, rather. So, I don't think any lawsuit was ever coming. This was just a last-ditch Hail Mary from a desperate, lonely guy to try and get rid of the evidence of him being a creep. So, That was the whole interaction between Bintellect and Jordan, but after this tweet started popping off, well, the series of tweets started popping off, she then started getting DMs with more screenshots and more evidence of Bintellect doing this to tons of different women. This comes from someone else who had a very similar experience to Jordan. So Ben opens with, "Do you work tomorrow?" They say, "Crazy busy day, but I don't work." And then Ben goes, "Let's make some content tomorrow." Not like that, but just film a podcast. So he immediately alludes to like, oh, not OnlyFans type content. I'm talking about just a wholesome podcast, one the whole family can enjoy. Doesn't get an immediate response, so he goes, "What do you think?" He then waits about 2 hours more and he goes, "You're killing me, gorgeous." So fucking embarrassing. Jesus Christ, that's so fucking awful to read. Yucky. And then he gives her about 3 more hours and then he goes, "You know what? I've been thinking about this OnlyFans thing, and I think I could make us a lot of money, straight up." And then she finally does reply saying that she's just been busy taking a mental health day. So he can't even go more than like 3 messages without bringing up OnlyFans. It seems like the only thing on this guy's mind is sex, and how he's never getting it, I guess, but is very desperate too, and will do it by any means necessary to try and achieve coitus. From everything I can tell, Bintellect has never done any kind of OnlyFans content on his own, or like any type of explicit content. He's just a professional TikTok giggler. All he does is giggle at Twitter messages or comments, and that's it. So clearly he's not wanting to dip his toes into OnlyFans for the sake of becoming like an OnlyFans creator. He just wants to have sex with these women, and he's using his podcast as a vessel to try and do that, it seems. After she told him about the mental health day she was taking, he responds with, "Hey, thank you." And then the following day at 6:52 a.m., so this guy must have been up all night masturbating, because it seems like that's the only thing on this dude's mind, he sends her a message saying, "Do you want to come over tomorrow night? Actually, are you down to come over tonight? Or are you just a flake?" Doesn't even give her time to respond, just immediately gets combative. He immediately just goes into fucking ballistic bin mode. "So you coming over tonight, or are you just a flake? Huh? Are you just a fucking succubus? Huh? Is that it? Huh? So you coming over tonight?" And then he waits only like an hour and 40 after that, and then he's like, "You know what? Okay, Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry, babe, but you're just too much of a flake. Bye." So then obviously she's like alarmed, like what the fuck is going on? So she says, "You know, if you wouldn't have texted me so rudely calling me a flake after 1 day of not texting you, you might have stood a chance. I can see why you're single now. Goodbye." Which really just sends Ben off the rails. "Yeah, whatever, go fuck yourself," says the girl who's trying to make an OnlyFans. Good luck. Brother, all you talk about is trying to do OnlyFans content with them. It seems like you're trying desperately to get into OnlyFans but keep getting rejected and can't handle it. So how can you have the gall to try and shame them for it when you are desperately trying to do it yourself? Here's a wacky little Snapchat one. "Do you want to come over here and spend some time with me? Because on a side note, I do think I could probably make us some money on OnlyFans. Bintellect fucks crazy into oblivion." That's redacted right there, like a CIA document. I really wonder what he said. I think it's Bintellect fucks crazy pussy into oblivion or something, but I'm just going off of what I can see poking out from underneath the redaction. I think that's what it is, but this is so goofy. He's speaking about himself in the third person in this one. And then he even tries bribery. "If you come over, I'll give you $1,000. I just really want you." And they respond, "I'm good right now. Don't try to bribe me with money. That's weird." And then he's like, "Yeah, no, that is weird, but I want to see you." This one's a lot more vintage Ben. So this was a different kind of relationship these two had, as opposed to just the podcast OnlyFans hustle he keeps trying to run. So they start by saying, "I guess it's just not meant to be." Ben says, "Facts, no hard feelings, but yeah, it ain't working." So then they part ways, or so it would seem. Ben has a couple of parting words here. He says, "For your future self, if you're going to turn around on a guy and say, 'Hey, I'm not down for friends with benefits shit,' just say that before you go through all the bullshit. Boring as fuck. Not my problem that you turned around and quit drinking because you're an alcoholic and now pass out at 8 p.m. Fucking peace out, bitch." So Ben really, he went crazy. Ben lost it. This man, he was punching pillows, sending these texts with tears in his eyes, and he got real nasty. They respond to it saying that they're far from an alcoholic, and then Ben just keeps going crazier, saying, "No, you're an alcoholic, and you're full of shit." And then he's like, "Anyway, I'm done. I just had to say that because you're full of shit." They respond saying that they weren't interested in being with Ben, and he should have taken the hint a while ago, but then Ben he goes absolutely berserk again. She says that she's wasting people's time and that she needs to just shut up and go to bed. And then she says, it sounds like you need some anger management help, which is a very fair assessment. I think he desperately needs some assistance with this anger management. And then Ben tries to flip this shit around like, how dare you? Are you kidding me? So he goes, be careful who you say that to, Maria, because there are people who really need help with that. So Ben lets out a gasp. That's super disrespectful to say that to somebody, and also a very basic-ass bitch thing to say. Benjamin, it's a very fair thing to say here. It's not disrespectful. You legitimately need some help. It very much seems like you do. So then he goes, there's a reason you've been single for this many years, and it's because no one wants you, and no one cares about you. You're full of shit. Basic, boring loser. He just goes on and even has this little monologue here that ends with him saying, God help any guy that you gets involved with that loose pussy because you're just lame. Mic drop ho. This guy just typed out mic drop ho. He just typed that out. He's over 30 years old. I think he's like 34 years old or something like that. I already forgot. This is a 30-something year old man, and he just typed out mic drop ho. To which she responds, I'm sure your TikTok fans will love the way you talk to women when I post these screenshots. And then he's like, you know what? Good luck. I stand by every single word that I just said to you. So, did he stand by every single word that he said? Let's look at his initial apology, which he deleted pretty shortly after posting it, and then also hid replies on. Let's look at his first apology. I've recently been accused of some heinous actions and would like the opportunity to share my disgust at these accusations. I'm a firm believer in the rights and equality of all humans, including women. If that's not the biggest red flag immediately, I don't know what else is. I stand by the rights for all humans, and that does include women. Those creatures. I am including them in that statement because that's the kind of angel I am. It makes it sound like he's drawing a distinction between women and every other human on the planet, like they're a totally separate species that aren't included in humanity. What an absolute incomprehensible weirdo. I grew up in a home with 3 sisters and no brothers, so I learned very early on the importance, power, love, and abilities women have. They deserve to be cherished and uplifted and treated with respect, and that's how I live my life. I do not condone the statements or accusations that have suddenly been hoisted upon me, and I hope to speak to anyone who feels they have been wronged. He's actually going with I have sisters. I can't hate women. I have sisters. No. I have 3 sisters. You guys don't understand. I could never do this to women. Like, you're misunderstanding. These are all baseless accusations. I have 3 sisters. I legitimately cannot be mean to women. And not only do I have 3 sisters, but my mother is also a woman. So you should see how ridiculous these claims are now, knowing this context with my 3 sisters and mother. So that should hopefully clear up all of the air here with these accusations. Like I mentioned, he did delete this apology post, but today he did release a new apology on TikTok. He released an apology video, so let's take a peek at that. Also, Ben, I know you're still watching. You probably plan on suing me if I show your apology video because you've employed this tactic before against other YouTubers. If they've shown clips of your content to make fun of you, you allege that it's stealing your work and you have a legal ground to take it down and come after them. You don't. That's not how that works. Me showing this is not any kind of violation in any way, shape, or form. So if you do try and sue me or copyright claim this video, copyright strike the video, anything like that, I will 100% respond with every single option at my disposal in order to follow this legal case through to its fullest conclusion. So let's check out your apology, brother.
Hey guys, there's a lot being said about me on the internet right now, and I just wanted to clear the air. The first thing I want to say is I'm sorry to anyone that I've made feel uncomfortable.
I love how nonchalant he is about this whole thing, just trying to downplay the situation. Like, if I made any of you feel a bit icky, a little uncomfy, I'm super sorry. That wasn't my intention. You must have misunderstood. It's not what I'm about. When in reality, he would snap, get aggressive, hostile, combative anytime he was denied sex.
I want to say to any girl who I've been rude to, whether through text or in person, that I'm sorry. I understand that me being sorry does not excuse that kind of behavior. I will continue to work on myself and do better. Thanks, guys.
Behold, the first AI ChatGPT written apology. This just ticked every basic box. There's really nothing of value here at all. Just like the quickest, weakest apology, and he's just gonna go forward doing his little, look at this tweet. Like nothing ever happened. So that's kind of where everything's at. Dog shit apology, dog shit situation. This guy is a big old loser. So let's use this as a learning opportunity for anyone watching. Don't be like Bintellect. That's really about it. So yeah. Darkest TikTok iceberg. Why do people keep asking for that? Oh, I actually remember this story. I haven't seen his video on it, but I remember this was on Reddit. There was a random TikTok that was taken, well, at least this story, I guess the whole thing might not be connected. A random TikTok taken of a girl with like a black eye and shit. And then Redditors actually were the ones that maybe potentially connected her to a missing persons case. I don't remember the result. I don't know if it actually turned out to be true or not, but yeah, I guess we'll check it out, sure.
We're doing it from most tame to most gruesome. This video gets really, really dark, and it sounds so ironic because it's TikTok, but you guys would be
no, TikTok's a
surprised at the
fucked
stuff that goes on
platform.
over there. Also, I made
Shit's
this
nutty.
list. I hope you guys watch the whole thing. By the way, make sure to follow me on Instagram and subscribe to the channel if you are not already. Actually, don't subscribe yet. I'll earn your subscription by the end of this video.
Hey.
Without botting accounts. Like most social media, TikTok has a botting
underwhelming.
problem. Users that want followers can easily look
Everyone
up
knows
how to buy
TikTok's
TikTok
botted to
followers
fuck.
with Google. I don't know how lame you have to be to do that stuff.
Hey, fun
Jail
fact.
talk.
That's how Travis Scott started. Travis Scott bought all of his followers on SoundCloud when he started. His manager came out and said that Travis Scott, paid him to set up a bot farm for his SoundCloud engagements, and then he was able to pitch that manufactured success to a record label. So yeah, that shit really works.
Fetishization of murderers. TikTok
True
is a
crime.
place for anyone with any interest.
That was big
It's
on
not about
Tumblr.
Some people are push the boundary a little when they begin romanticizing these murderers. Take Cameron Herron, for example.
Oh,
in
Jesus,
April
yeah.
of this year, this
Fuck.
21-year-old man was sentenced to a total of 24 years in
Actually
prison
forgot
for
about that.
killing a 24-year-old mom and her baby during an illegal street race. Yet people on TikTok were begging for his freedom because he is quote-unquote cute. With dedicated fan edits, comments like, chances should be given and he deserves it. And he is innocent. Please let him go, or justice for him.
They
I think
still
it's safe to
exist.
say
I see
that
them on
the
Twitter
teenage
all the
girls that are
time.
writing these comments have no real
All the
sense of
time.
murder. And it's not only male murderers that are
Here's a
simped
tier
for,
1
though.
chaotic
There's also the
meatball,
case of
Reset
Isabella
Kitten.
Guzman, who in 2013 was the age 18 and stabbed her mother 151 times, killing her. TikTok
Holy
teens
shit.
began requesting for her freedom because 1, they just thought she was cool, and 2, people said that the only reason she killed her mom was due to being abused, though that was never proven, so people were just going off word of mouth.
Jesus
Fetishization of
Christ.
school shooters. Just like young teens simp for murderers, they also simp for school shooters. Most notably, Devin Erickson, which we actually
What?
talked about on this channel back in March.
Who the fuck is
It's
that?
exactly what you'd expect. Fan edits, comments saying he's hot, and I wouldn't doubt some asking for his freedom. Speaking of romanticizing school shooters, I remember FTP made a couple
Wait,
shirts referencing
who the fuck was that? I've never heard of that guy. He was a school shooter? Dude straight up had like cotton candy hair. I guess it's good that I have no idea that dude's name. But yeah, no, I had no clue. I've never seen that guy before in my fucking life.
I don't know who started this trend of thinking school shooters are people you should idolize, because they're not. They're shit humans that took away lives of innocent people. The surface. Faking disabilities. There was an instance
Ooh, this
last
was
week when
big.
this girl
Still
on TikTok
big.
did some detective work and found out that the account at adopted and disabled child was actually a guy pretending to be disabled. For what? All credit to her, because she actually found out that the quote-unquote disabled man in the video is a soccer player for a Norwegian football team. I don't know
What?
what goes on through your head to say, you know what? I should fake a disability
Holy
today
shit.
and post it on TikTok. Lopez brothers. Okay, I honestly don't want to waste my breath on these fucking idiots, so I'm gonna
I
make
don't
this
know
one
them.
really quick. Yes, they are both guilty of soliciting minors. Yes, there is proof.
She's 14. And you are how old?
Who the fuck are they? I've never heard of them.
You can end up in jail.
I do realize that.
And
Man, that video didn't really pop off. Let me take a peek. I bet they're doing just fine on TikTok. Honestly, it might even be good marketing on TikTok, so that way the little girls think they have a chance with them, I guess. Which they very well might. Tony Lopez has 23 million followers, and he's doing real well. Posted a day ago. Let's go! He rated his attractiveness. Look at this. Nice. Yeah, no, that really, man, him being outed as a pedophile apparently really, fuck, it really ruined him. Who was the other one? Andre Lopez? He probably took the brunt of it. 21 million followers. He's doing even better than his brother. Hey, look, he's doing a dance. Nice. See, that's the beauty of TikTok. No matter what you do, you can't be canceled on there. And you know why? Because kids don't care. Kids do not give a shit. These two could have literally executed a child on TikTok livestream, put a gun to his head, blew their fucking brains out, and then did a dance on their corpse. Kids would have forgiven them. Literal next day.
For some reason, little girls still love them.
Oh, he even mentions it, yeah.
His TikToks would get millions of views, and I'm sure you've seen them on your For You page at some point. Well, last month, multiple minors came out explaining that Jerob had groomed
I guess
them.
Tori.
One of them, the one that got the most views, was a boy by the name of DYLG16. Joe would send him and his minor friends online BDSM tests and would ask to see their scores so
Jesus
he could see what
Christ.
their kinks were. He even offered to buy him alcohol, and if that wasn't damning enough, Jerob ended up deleting his account shortly after these allegations came out. Bro, if there's one thing I don't like, it's fucking groomers, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You're weird. You're weird. You're weird. Cartel TikTok.
To be fair, that dude probably wouldn't have recovered. I think you're probably right. The people that are fine and uncancelable on TikTok are like the dudes that are decent looking. This guy stood no chance. This guy was fucked the second he got outed as a child groomer. But yeah, the other ones are doing just fine for literally being outed by multiple people for preying on minors.
Zombie Woman is the nickname given to a woman in distress recorded from a neighbor earlier this year in May in Seattle, Washington. Now, I've tried researching what actually is the story behind this video, but there isn't really a solid story. So, I'm just going to read you guys some popular theories. The first theory is that this woman is a victim of domestic abuse due to dyeing her hair pink and her boyfriend not liking it. Also forgot to mention that in that same theory, the boyfriend allegedly ripped her hair out due to not liking the pink. That's the most I could find for that one. The second theory
That's
is
probably
that this
not
woman
it.
is just on some type of heavy drug like bath salts. The third theory
That's
is that this
more
woman
likely.
is a victim of human trafficking and she had escaped her abusers.
That is possible.
Someone said
Man, that actually
The
does
body
look like a
in the-
fucking scene from Martyrs, if any of you guys are unfortunate enough to have watched that movie. That movie's disturbing. This actually does look like a scene from that. So this was real? This wasn't like some theater promotion thing or something? Like some kids doing high school theater? Because the cops are actually here, so I'm guessing this was a real person. Damn, that is fucking sad. Martyrs isn't that bad? Bro, that movie hits hard. That movie, like, not just like the gore shit they show. That movie, like, even its message is disturbing. The whole movie is about torturing women so they can get as close to death as possible, so hopefully they'd have an out-of-body experience and see what's on the other side. And to accomplish that, they torture the women, like, by literally, like, peeling all of their skin off, like, degloving their whole body. Like, that movie's nutty. That movie is, like, really nutty.
Holocaust challenge. Yo, I can't
Oh,
even
I remember
believe some
this
of the
one.
stuff I'm saying right
I remember
now.
that one.
This is real stuff that happened on TikTok. In August of 2020, a new trend began emerging in US TikTok. In this trend, teenagers would pretend to be Jews that had died during the Holocaust.
Yeah, that one was pretty fucking crazy.
Diane Saltzman, the director.
One thing I always found pretty interesting about this is, like, what is the thought process here? Like, so they died at Auschwitz and they went to heaven, and yet they're still, like, covered in dirt and, like, hurt and stuff, even while in heaven? Like, that's gotta suck. You go to heaven in the same state you left the world? Like, if you get hit by a fucking train or something, you just go to heaven in pieces? That'd be terrible. What a horrible, like, entrance.
Is offensive to survivors
Thanks
and
to Tier 1
trivializes
macaroni
the
and
history.
cheese.
I don't know how fucking stupid you have to be to do this shit, bro. That's just weird and disrespectful. Ronnie McNutt video. In
This one,
2020,
I remember this
mobile
one
TikToks
too.
would be posted onto the app.
Fuck, this
that's
one was
what we
heavy.
thought. Until the TikTok would then cut to a clip of a man shooting himself in the head with a rifle. Well, he actually shoots himself in the face, not... Well, like we're like right here. I'm sure you guys have probably seen the video. These TikToks were disguised as your
Yeah, that
average
one was
dancing
wild.
videos.
That was a
memes,
fucked up
K-pop
trend.
fan cam confirmed that the rumor of Ronnie doing this, quote, because his girlfriend broke up with him, is entirely false. He explains that Ronnie did this due to suffering from PTSD and depression.
Oh, yeah, that one was super
TikTok
sad.
beheading video. In the summer of
That
this
one was
year,
really
a
fucking
video
sad.
began- Cassie Compton. In January of 2021,
This one I remember
a
from
video
Reddit.
posted on TikTok went viral due to showing a woman sitting in the backseat of a car. People compared this woman to Cassie Compton, a 15-year-old who disappeared from her home in Stuttgart, Arkansas on September 14th of 2014. Though, these were later found out to be two completely different people. And
Oh,
the
it
woman
wasn't
in the
right?
video was confirmed by family to be Haley Grace Phillips. She had been reported missing by a family member
Oh,
who saw the
well,
video.
it was
but
right, though.
on her own account, had just left home due to a falling hung out with her father. So,
Oh.
you know, she didn't think she was missing. She just like left home. And when asked about the black eyes, she explains that she had been jumped and robbed by 2 women when leaving the store. And the men in the car were friends of hers helping her track down the attackers. Many were still skeptical to if she was telling the truth or if her abusers were telling her.
So Reddit was
the same
almost
things.
right,
Though we
kind
have no
of.
idea what the Austin 13. Austin Morosky was a TikToker with many followers who was accused of raping his 5-year-old sister. Yep, you heard that
Jesus
right. So basically,
Christ.
there is no hard evidence that I could find to this case. It's all just word of mouth from people that went to high school with him.
That if you happen to get in the same scenario like myself, don't beat yourself up. Let this be a lesson to my followers and whoever's watching, that words will and can affect someone's life along with the cyberbullying.
Which, by the way, is one of the worst apology videos I've seen.
What?
It's right up there with James Charles and David Dobrik. You'd expect him to be like, no, I did not rape my sister, or yes, guys, I did.
Holy
but
shit.
He just dodges the question. He acknowledges nothing.
What the
Lady
fuck?
Cat Killer.
Wait, what the fuck? That was actually like his response? I imagine he's doing just fine on TikTok. He probably didn't even need to do that for his TikTok followers. They don't give a fuck. What was his name? Austin 13? He does not have a TikTok anymore. That's a first. Yeah, I typed it in right. The AWS. Yeah, I typed it in right. Oh, 316. Oh. Okay, hold on. No, still not. And it was Austin 13. Man, fuck you guys making me think I was wrong.
On July 28th in San Antonio, Texas, this girl and her friend saw someone hanging from the railing of a drainage ditch. The 25-year-old man had just committed suicide, and instead of calling the police, well, one of the teens filmed the other one stealing his necklace. Yes, removing it from his lifeless body. To make matters even worse, they filmed it and posted it on
Full-blown
Snapchat.
Logan
I have
Paul.
no idea how stupid you have to be to film yourself committing a crime. I mean, because if you think about it, they could have gotten away with it. And I'm not condoning them getting away with it. But seriously, how stupid, like, don't film
Holy
it. Again,
shit.
I'm not condoning what they did. Good that they got caught. I'm glad they were idiots and filmed it. When asked by the police why she stole the necklace, she says that it matched her fashion style. Honestly, I didn't.
That's
I
a
didn't
good-
expect any better
That's a
reasoning
good
from this
point,
girl.
actually.
The police,
How are they doing on TikTok? What was her name? What was it? Bethany what? I'm sure if I type in how many people are actually fucking named Bethany in 2022, I'm sure it'll come up. Bethany 3160. I'm not falling for it twice. No, it looks like she has also been banned. Man, maybe TikTok actually does sometimes take action. Then why not for the other? They're like predators. Yeah, it looks like she is also off. Her name was Bethany Martin.
Zachary Lathan.
Her account still exists.
Often
It's at
dubbed
50K.
The TikToker who killed his neighbor for clout.
Thank you, some
Zachary
Dal
Lathan
stars.
did just that. Eventually, the family's son and father confront Zach by going to his house, and meanwhile, Zach's wife is recording everything. Yeah, the dude had a wife at the age of 18. What the f? Anyway, Zach ends up going ape mode and stabs William in the armpit, puncturing his lung, killing him. People say this was an attempt to gain TikTok clout since the wife was recording, but I personally think it's just a man with mental and anger issues not knowing limits. Also,
Jesus.
the argument, the people came up to his side, and I'm not defending again, that kid's a fucking idiot. But yeah, rest in peace to that man. Rest in peace. Joseph Jimenez.
I'm assuming
Another
that
recent
TikTok
event from
guy's
this
in
list
jail
is
now.
this. When explaining why he did it, he says that voices were telling him that by killing both of those 2 teenagers, he would be saving the world.
Fuck,
Claire
maybe, Jesus Christ, maybe that Reddit commenter really was real then. Fuck me, oh my god. What? Jesus Christ. Yeah, going out in public's scary, man. What's the name of that old song from Under Oath? It's dangerous business going out of your front door or something? The shit is super true. And it really feels like more and more people are becoming unhinged. I don't know what it is, but it just really feels like more often now than when I was growing up, people are becoming significantly more on edge and dangerous. Thanks to Tier 1 Dat Boy and the resub up down. It might just be like more access to information, but goddamn, this fucking scary.
Claire Miller is a 14-year-old girl that murdered her disabled sister, Helen, that had cerebral palsy, a disorder that affects a person's posture, muscles, and balance. Claire hysterically called 911 and just admitted to murdering her sister, and when the police arrived, they noticed that she had tried washing the blood that was on her hands in the snow on the ground. So I guess there was just bloody snow everywhere. And they had found a knife
What?
inside of the older sister's neck. They are charging her for murder as an adult. She's not being charged
Good.
as a minor. She's being charged as a full adult. So she's
That's
gonna
good
get these
news.
consequences.
God damn.
Nicola Priest. This is by
I think
far
as TikTok continues to grow, pretty much every criminal ever is going to be able to be traced back to a TikTok account. So literally every criminal from this point forward, I imagine, will be able to watch TikTok videos of them doing the Doja Cat dance or some shit at some point. Because it's just everyone has one now. So literally every single murderer is also going to be a TikToker by extension. That's a pretty wild future.
So this woman from the UK named Nicola Priest would post
Thanks,
TikToks
Reese of
mourning her
Innocence.
dead daughter. This woman actually murdered her own kid and then went on TikTok post mourning her own daughter. People found this out because you can actually search her up on public records and it says there that she murdered her kid. That's what she is. And if you go back and watch some of the videos, her account is still up, by the way. If you go back and watch some of the videos, it's so fucking creepy seeing like just knowing what
Why?
happened
Why is
and
her
seeing
account
that she's
still up?
acting like she didn't fucking kill her own daughter.
What? What was her name? Nicola Priest. How is she doing? No, it's down now. Okay, so it must have been up in August. It is down now. So far, almost all of them have been. I'm very surprised. Usually they're not. Why just 15 years? I have no fucking clue. I have no idea. I imagine, if I had to take a guess, I would say it's probably the UK. Let's see, in fact. Mom who killed 3-year-old for interrupting her having sex posts... What? Posts apology to her parents. And yes, she was from Solihull, England. She made a fucking YouTube apology video for killing her 3-year-old daughter. She was having sex with her boyfriend and got interrupted. And so she killed her daughter. What was the thought process? It's not like she was going to go back to getting laid after committing a murder in front of the boyfriend. Oh shit, the boyfriend is also implicated in this. The vomiting was the result of the severe beating you were both responsible for inflicting on her. No doubt you irritated by her crying, asking to be let out. It interrupted the two of you when you wanted to have sex. You lost your temper and you were joint participants in the assault. Holy shit. And they got 15 years. It's a fucking joke, man. That's a fucking joke. Yep, that should be life for both of them, I would say. And what's even wilder, she used it for clout on TikTok.
All right, yeah, that was the iceberg. You
that was
guys
a lot of shit.
Let me know what you guys want to see.
There's a shart trend as well. Now that just sounds like good fun. No one's getting hurt in a shart. Damn. Yeah, that was a lot of shit I'd never even heard of. Hey, how are you? Are you having a good day? I hope so. And I hope you won't be mad at me if I try and change that real quick. I want to put a very yucky TikTok creep on your radar. And it's someone I'm sure some of you have heard of over the last year or so. He's become a bit of an infamous boogeyman that a lot of people have talked about. Most notably, Oompaville made a whole video on him, kind of breaking down all of the awful degenerate shit he's done. He was actually quite popular. He had over 1 million followers on there. His initial account was called Snapshot Eye. He then had to make other ones in lieu of a lot of allegations that came out and a lot of information that went public. His real name is Paul Breach, which is fitting because he keeps breaching the restraining order parents have against him to protect the safety of their children online. I'm only kidding about that. I don't know if there's any actual restraining orders against him. Even if there were, it would mean nothing to him. You can't teach the breach. He's going to continue to flirt and act inappropriately with underage kids on TikTok. It's all he knows, damn it. So, Paul Breach is an alleged predator, but a confirmed creep. And I'm not here to just go over all of the allegations. There's quite a few videos that cover them extraordinarily well. The reason I'm talking about him is he's blowing up yet again thanks to a clip of his that just went viral. This is during one of his nightmarish TikTok lives.
Oh, there's a plane crashed in Tanzania. Go on, into the lake.
So he gets this tragic news and immediately goes right back into lip syncing and shit. Now keep in mind, this man is in his 40s. Now, I'm sure you didn't need me to tell you that. You can look at him and immediately deduce this isn't exactly a teenage boy here doing this cringe-ass lip sync shit. Terrorists have infiltrated a local Burger King. Oh, jeez. And they're slitting the throat of the hostages. Jinkies. Hey, prayers to the families. And I'm sure after just seeing this, you're probably not surprised to learn that he's got a very foul past. So, he's no spring chicken. He's in his 40s here, and he constantly engages inappropriately with young girls in his audience, and it's something he's come under heavy scrutiny for a long time. He's actually somewhat of a pseudo-celebrity in the UK, where people sometimes have gone out of their way to find him and make fun of him directly to his face. Sometimes there's even like in the wild spottings like Bigfoot where they'll start filming him and then go up and start insulting him. And it's become something of a beloved pastime over the last year. It died down once he kind of fell off, but now that this clip is blowing up again, I've seen that his channel on TikTok, at least the one I believe is still his, is getting quite a bit more traction from it. Even though this isn't necessarily the newest clip, it is a very silly and surprising one that a lot of people have had their curiosity piqued by, so went out of their way to find more from him. Thus, Paul Breach the Cockroach continues to somewhat thrive. His whole shtick is posting thirst traps, even though if you're thirsty, this isn't gonna quench it. What he's doing is just gonna be putting sand in your mouth and making it worse, like giving you the fucking cinnamon challenge. What he posts is the opposite of a thirst trap. It is alarming. He is way too old to be doing this garbage. And I don't mean to be mean and rude, but he's not exactly a 10 out of 10 looking gentleman here. It's also worth mentioning, this kind of thing isn't uncommon for his streams, though it is probably his most preposterous moment ever recorded. To go from horrible news right back into his god-awful thirst trapping.
Oh, bless you, love. Bless you. Love.
I just wanted to show you another clip of how unhinged his TikTok lives are. So sometimes he'll just play sound effects to give the impression that there's other people around him, always women. This one, I don't even understand what the thought process was. I think he sat on a whoopee cushion to make a fart noise, as if it was like a girl over there farting, and he's like, oh goodness, hey now, that butthole's not meant to be usable, it's just supposed to be aesthetic for me. Girls shouldn't be fucking farting. Despicable. And then he plays a very clearly stock sneeze sound effect and then goes even further, love? And then like gets like angry about it, it seems.
Fucking hell. Jacob, thanks for the follow. So much. That is a fucking cracking impression of me, love. How you do that?
It's actually one of the saddest goddamn things imaginable. To be so fucking lonely that you have to fake interaction around you on a TikTok live stream where people go there mainly to make fun of you, because by this point he had already become kind of like a TikTok spittoon for people to stop in and spit a loogie into. But like I mentioned, unfortunately there were a few young fans that would reach out to him, and he would always reciprocate being flirtatious. He even got called out on this pretty often, way before like he had to take his account down. I think he got banned. I don't think he took it down. But there were always people taking notice of like, Paul, why do you always just reply to like these really young girls?
Why do you only talk to girls in the comments? Because it's only the girls that are commenting, and if it's a comment from a guy, I say hi. I don't know. Maybe because I'm dating them all and we're having babies. Only to the ones I'm married to, which is all of them.
Who could have imagined that the 40-something-year-old man making thirst traps aimed at children would turn out to be a real weirdo? I can't believe it. It's always the ones you least expect, am I right? I'd also like to show you another one of his clips that's somewhat blowing up right now. This is apparently one that he sent directly to a fan, and it is so uncomfortable to watch.
Lainey, smile. That is an order. And then jump in a cold bath. Get yourself smiling, get yourself happy. I've been a moody little, for a little while, and that is just stupid on my behalf. So I apologise if anything I've ever done has brought you in a low mood. I know I was idiot at the start of the week, and I've taken steps to fix that. But you need to smile, you need to be happy. You've got a beautiful smile. Please use it, perhaps.
His brain just blue screens there for a moment. Windows had to have a hard reset there. He had his own little Mitch McConnell moment during this message that he sent to one of his fans.
It's always nice to get a message from his feet. And it's always lovely to see that smile.
What an uplifting video. I know you're sad, but have you tried not being sad and just smiling? Because I'm ordering you to. In fact, you don't have a choice. Smile, and you will feel better because it'll make me feel better, and you should be happy when I'm happy. Damn it. I don't know, everything about this guy is really weird. So, since he is blown up recently, I just wanted to at least make people aware of who he is and his past, because he's not exactly just some, like, goofy guy. He's an unhinged, weird guy with a lot of serious accusations against them. And I've only just begun to scratch the surface of how awful a lot of the things he's being accused of are. And a lot of them he's never denied or anything at all, really. He just buries his head and pushes forward, doing more lip syncing and bad dancing. And people have confronted him directly, and he still never really denies any of it. It's hard to explain, and the whole point of this video was just to let you all know Paul Breach sucks. That's about it. So yeah. If there's one thing you need to know about me, it's that this tooth, this one right here, that little bastard, is about 1 centimeter taller than the other teeth on that bottom row. And now, anytime you see my mouth open, you won't be able to unsee it. You're welcome. And the other thing you really need to know about me is that I cannot stand when people cause problems for customer service workers, in particular, fast food employees. I've made countless videos shitting on narcissists that are fishing for clout by exploiting fast food employees for views on TikTok or YouTube through pranks or just being a general nuisance, just a hemorrhoid on society. They're just normal people, and they're getting paid minimum wage to deal with the most insufferable people on the planet. Just truly degenerate assholes, and my heart breaks for them. Fast food workers get abused more than a fleshlight. It sucks. And over the last week or so, there's been a new trend that has really blown up that once again just treats these human beings as if they're just NPCs, props for their TikTok and YouTube Shorts videos. It's filming your Chipotle order being made by the Chipotle worker.
I'll get a bowl. Yeah, for to go. I'll get white rice with that.
The idea is they're going to give you more food because they're on camera. And it spawned because people were starting to talk about Chipotle portion sizes being smaller than they used to be, which for the record I do believe. That is a conspiracy theory I'll put on the full tinfoil condom for, because I do think that's accurate, no matter how much the CEO likes to dance around in delusion and pretend that that's not the facts of it. I do think it is true. I used to get a Chipotle burrito after every lift in college, and I had innumerable Chipotle burritos, and over the last 3 or 4 years I've been very vocal about the quality of the food going down, in my opinion, and definitely, like when I get burritos now, it's significantly less than I remember it being back then. But I also think that's just kind of the industry norm, because I think the same thing about many other fast food places as well. But anyway, someone on TikTok came up with a cure to this small portion disease, and it was to just film these workers doing their job and kind of give them a bit of a hard time and nudge them on camera to give them more food. And this started to really pop off because a lot of people noticed that, oh, when they're being filmed, they give you more food. So that's the cheat code. That's the life hack.
Rice blank or pinto beans?
We'll do pinto beans with that.
Pinto beans, any protein for you?
We'll do chicken, please.
Chicken. Any queso for you?
We need some more chicken in that.
More chicken?
Finna fire on your ass. Put that chicken in there.
All right. Any queso for you?
This one is by far the worst I've seen from this trend here. This guy went in there looking to start shit. He's immediately aggressive and confrontational. The guy hadn't even put the fucking spoon fully into the chicken bowl there before he said, no, 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 need more chicken. He's there to stir a controversy for the sake of his video. And he is just shoving the camera down this guy's throat. If the worker had bent over, the camera guy here would have given him a full-blown fucking colonoscopy. He is right up in his business to just be this insufferable douchebag that's hassling him for the sake of this video that he's filming. Now, it's filmed from another angle, but I can't find that full video. I can only find this one through Twitter.
We need some veggies. Get some green veggies. Yeah, a little bit more, little bit more.
No problem.
Little bit more.
No problem.
Straight up. Oh, they gonna have to hold me accountable.
When he was asked pretty politely to just stop putting the camera in this guy's face, not even asked to stop filming, by the way, just asked to like, hey, maybe don't be up in this guy's nutsack with your camera, he immediately immediately starts yelling about it. He's immediately throwing a fucking temper tantrum. Even though it was a super reasonable request, because look at how close he's getting to this guy. He is leaning over the counter to get as close as possible. It's like he's going in for a kiss. Like he's trying to fucking make out with the guy here.
Nothing else?
That'll be all. And if you got problems, I'll fire your ass up. Hold me accountable. You're gonna have to hold me accountable.
Sir, this is Chipotle's. Why are you yelling and screaming? Why are you hooting and hollering here? Goodness gracious, it's like a hostage situation here. The worker did everything you ask. Leave them alone. All they requested is that you take the camera out of that guy's mouth. They didn't even ask that you stop filming, even though they should have. They should have walked over and slapped that fucking phone right out of your hands, douchebag. That's what should have happened. But it didn't. You still got to have your TikTok video, and you're still huffing and puffing about it. It's incomprehensible to me. Even when people who did this trend weren't harassing the worker making their food, I still don't like it. I think it is still dog shit. You're just being a nuisance to just average everyday people just going about their lives. They're getting paid minimum wage to make your food, and you're making it a huge headache for them by putting them on camera when I know for a fact they don't want to be. The reason you're getting more food shouldn't be some kind of mystery. The reason is because no one wants to deal with being shamed online. It's not like these people are just drones, AI, that are cut off from the rest of the world. These people have access to the internet, same as you. They know what this trend is. And they know if they give you anything less than fucking colossal proportions that could feed a family of 8, then they're going to get insulted in your TikTok video. So obviously they play along with it. Like, it shouldn't be surprising that you do get more food when you film the workers here and put this big spotlight on them. Because now you've turned it into a huge song and dance, and they want to do everything possible to avoid a negative situation with their life here that you have now thrust upon them for your own, TikTok or YouTube short. I think it sucks. I think it is sucked from the very beginning. I don't like that the portion sizes at Chipotle have shrunk, obviously. But what I would never do is blame the workers for it. They're not making the corporate decisions for the portion sizing or anything like that. And if you do get less than you want, you can politely ask if you can have like another scoop or something. Like, that's just normal socialization 101. You don't have to resort to the nuclear option here.
And that ain't no issue. Anybody in here can get it. Straight up. You can call the police. I ain't break no law. Wait, what? Whoa, why you lying like police?
This guy's fuming so hard that he immediately gave himself amnesia and forgot that he just threatened the entire restaurant. She said, all right, I'm gonna call the police because you're threatening people. He's like, you're fucking lying! Who did that? Where? When did that happen? You're telling a fib. That's a tall tale. And I don't appreciate it, Buster. Even though, literally 5 seconds ago, he just threatened the entire restaurant for some reason. He's just having a full-blown voice-cracking conniption here in front of the entire Chipotle for this trend. And I still don't even know what there is to be mad about. He got big portions on his bowl. Mission accomplished. And he successfully made everyone in that restaurant's day a little bit worse. Yippee. Wahoo! That's great. So yeah, overall, I think that this filming Chipotle workers trend is garbage. I think it is just trash. I could bring up countless other examples because it's become such a viral hit here, but they're all so annoying. They're not nearly as bad as this one. This one is by far the worst I have seen so far. The only ones that I somewhat appreciate are the ones where the Chipotle worker gives them significantly less food because they're filming. I fuck with that. I think that's great. That should be the gold standard going forward here. You come in and you start filming the workers, well, I hope you enjoy 5 tiddlywinks of rice and 1 little glob of chicken. And that's it. Put a smile on your face and get the fuck out. But anyway, yeah. Don't like the trend. Hopefully the trend is over soon. That's about it. So yeah. On TikTok there lives many evils. Some cringe, some criminal. Just like the Force with the Jedi and the Sith, there exists a balance. And today, we're gonna tiptoe and tap dance all over that line between cringe and criminal as we look at a completely deplorable individual named Madison who hatched a diabolical scheme to fake cancer apparently with the goal of getting her family back together. At least according to her, that's the statement she made in court as to the motive behind faking cancer. Which, if that really was the goal of it, that is a worse plan than anything Ed, Edd n Eddy ever hatched for jawbreakers back in the day. It makes no sense, but basically, she faked cancer, eventually started getting, like, public speaking gigs, I suppose. She documented her battle with it in an attempt to, like, uplift people, I suppose. She also made a GoFundMe which collected like $37,000, which turns this whole thing from just a complete fabrication for the sake of attention, possibly, into a full-blown scam where she was taking money from people under a complete lie. And then, eventually, the whole house of cards came crumbling down after an investigation concluded that she made everything up. Now, I can't find the first videos she started to post about this. It only exists, from what I can find, in a Ray William Johnson video he just posted covering this, so I'm just going to show you a clip from that.
They found a mass on my pancreas, and I had stage 2 pancreatic cancer at just 19 years old.
Oh, but that's not even the worst part. She also had leukemia.
The 5-year outlook of survival is a slim 11%.
But does all this stop Madison? No way. She sees it as an opportunity to document her battle and uplift others.
What an incredibly evil thing to lie about. Now, of course, she's far from the only person on the cyberspace to lie about having cancer. In fact, there was a really recent story I just talked about like a month ago about a poker player who lied about having terminal cancer in order to raise money to enter a poker tournament. But anyway, back to Madison. So she posted a lot of update content going over what was happening, and this includes photos that she would take. Photos that she would stage, since she didn't actually have cancer. And I can't find a ton of them. The only one that I can find that was a big smoking gun is, again, from Ray William Johnson's video. So he's got, like, all of the old artifacts here to preserve the story, I guess. So I'll show you a picture of it here, which is this. And a lot of medical professionals saw this and noticed that there was some very fishy shit going on here. It was starting to raise some red flags, sound the alarm bells that, this may not be a case of her having cancer, but instead an undiagnosed case of terminal clout disease. God rest her soul. So the medical professionals pointed out a lot of things that just didn't make sense about the photo. Some inconsistencies, not even using real medical tape, just a laundry list of problems with the photo, and anonymously reported it as suspicious. It got the attention of the Eldridge Police Department, and they conducted an investigation, eventually subpoenaed for medical records from Madison, and found that she'd never been diagnosed with any kind of cancer or tumor from any medical facilities. So it turns out her cancer diagnosis is about as real as Goat Man, which is to say, not real at all. Sorry to all the Goat Man enthusiasts out there, I don't mean to burst your bubble. I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but it is what it is. He's not real. But what is real is this mugshot right here. Madison was arrested in January. I also didn't mention that even outside of like that one big photo that a lot of people pointed out and heavily scrutinized for inconsistencies, she was posting other photos that weren't hers, apparently. She would use photos from actual cancer patients and post them as if they were her updates, which is unbelievably evil. Like, the whole thing is so genuinely disgustingly evil, but like to me when I learned that portion of it, I couldn't believe just how low she sunk for this. Also, it was recommended that Madison not face prison time because she didn't have criminal history and had good grades in college, was employed, which made her less likely to reoffend. Which I think is a bunch of baloney. What a load of dirty barnacles. What do her good grades in college have to do with anything here and her ability to lie about having cancer again? No, she'll never do this again. Wait, look at her report card. She has an A in kinesiology. Obviously, she's not going to pull this stunt again. Don't be ridiculous. No prison time at all. She's learned her lesson. Just slap her on the wrist, send her home. So, someone spoke up about that. Her name is Rhonda Miles, and she runs a pancreatic cancer foundation in Nashville. And they actually donated to Madison and testified at the hearing. It was devastating to sit there and watch Scott County prosecuting attorney act like a defending attorney, so that was tough. And I think she'll have a lot of questions to answer from the locals on that at some point. Why are you defending this girl when you were supposed to be prosecuting? I couldn't agree more. This is not something that is just some whoops-a-daisy mistake kind of silly, stupid, quirky, dumb decision that a young person makes. It's not. This is a cold, calculated, evil plan that she did make like $39,000 from. I don't know why they took it so lightly here. But anyway, before I get to what her sentencing looked like, why don't I let you hear from her herself when she talked about this in court.
20-year-old Madison Russo pleaded guilty to a charge of first-degree theft after police said she pretended to have cancer and received donations online.
I didn't do this for money or greed. I didn't do this for attention. I did this in an attempt to try and get my family back together.
I saw a comment point something out pretty profoundly. It said her plan was to get the family back together, and it worked. They all came to court with her. And I was like, yeah, you know, that's pretty accurate. She never said how the family was going to come back together, so, you know. But I don't necessarily believe that. I feel like if the plan was to get the family back together, why the fuck are you making a GoFundMe and making money off of it, right? Plus, let's just assume that your nefarious plan you cooked up worked and your family all did come together to support you. It's absolutely going to crumble when you don't go to doctors to get your treatment, right? So if the family came together, they would immediately know that you are a lying sack of shit because you would not be going to any of these treatment facilities and they'd want to support you, right? So they would immediately know that something is wrong since you're not actually getting any treatment from any medical professionals. It doesn't make sense. So I don't think that was the real motive. That was just trying to weasel her way out of a very, very serious situation here because she scammed people out of $39,000. Now, she was ordered to repay that money that was donated to her, which is good. So all of the people who donated money, I believe, got money back for it. So it's at least a nice conclusion for them. They didn't just lose out on that forever.
The judge sentenced Russo to a suspended sentence of 10 years. That means she won't go to jail unless she gets in trouble in the future, but it will go on her record.
And basically she received probation where as long as she doesn't do anything stinky again in the next 3 years, she won't go to jail. But if she does reoffend and do something bad, then she will. Overall, I think she got off pretty easy from this. Oh, I forgot to mention she has 100 hours of community service work, which, you know, that's not exactly the harshest punishment here to fit the crime, if you ask me. To deceive people with a lie like this here and rake in $39,000 with people that believe they're supporting a cancer patient who's going through an incredibly intense battle is so sickeningly disgusting. And I cannot believe how light the sentencing on not only her case, but cases similar to this have been in the past. Like I said, she's not the only one to do this. She's actually far from the only one to do this. But for some reason, they never actually face big repercussions for it. And I guess I just don't really understand why. Because it is still a big, very lucrative scam that they're engaging in. It's highly illegal. So why is it always so light with the punishment? I don't know. Sometimes they don't even face punishment. There's been a couple of times in the past online where people have faked cancer, got a bunch of donations, and then just left, vanished. And they, you know, come back a couple years later, pretend it never happened, and they're just fine. They don't get in any trouble or anything. I don't know. It's just so weird to me. But yeah, I wanted to go over this pretty evil case here of a TikToker being a big ol' sack of shit. That's about it. So yeah. It doesn't matter what you believe for the origin of our species, whether we flopped out of the sea and began evolving on land, or if God made us, one thing remains true. There is something deep in our DNA that drives us to pursue the perfect prank. From the very first time a caveman grunted at his friend Krug to pull his finger, to the time that a YouTuber chased a man in a parking lot with a knife and got shot to death, there has always been this subconscious desire to find and execute the perfect prank. And friends, I'm happy to say we've reached the apotheosis. Our journey is complete thanks to one TikToker who has finally pulled it off. The perfect prank. The airport bomb threat prank. A classic, but one that's only ever been talked about as a myth. A what-if pie in the sky. Experts said it couldn't be done. But finally, thanks to the hard work of one brain-dead, broccoli-haired worm that looks like a side character out of the Jimmy Neutron show, it has been proven not only possible, but a viable strategy of going straight to jail and facing some potentially life-ruining problems in the future. One TikTok superstar prankster decided to risk it all for glory, and it has not gone unnoticed. This is like the 4-minute mile, but for dog shit pranks. New ground has been broken with this airport bomb threat prank. His technique was flawless, putting on a pair of Toys R Us spy glasses. So he put on his Ray-Ban built-in recording camera glasses, approached some officers, and told them that he didn't want any problems and that he had a bomb and a strap as well as fent in his car. Of course, he didn't actually have anything dangerous. By looking at videos and pictures of this guy, I imagine he would puke at the sight of just a single ounce of weed. He seems like a very sensitive soul who's just doing his absolute best to stand out in the sea of dog shit on TikTok. And the easiest way to do that is through pranks like this. And I use that word so generously here, loosey-goosey. It's not a prank. You're just committing a crime. That's most of what the prank community does on TikTok. It's actually just committing crimes, whether it's going into the back of, fast food restaurants, bothering the employees, sometimes even just assaulting people, harassing people. That's kind of what flies as pranks, unfortunately.
Oh, my bad, too. That's all. I'm drunk as shit. So you see that little key over there? I was just drinking and driving.
You was drinking and driving?
Yeah, and I'm a threat.
You a threat to what?
Me, myself, and like everyone around me, basically. Like, I'm just generally like a threat. I'm drunk driving the key over there, and I actually have a fake ID. I have a strap on me.
You have a what?
A strap on me.
He does this particular style of prank pretty often where he just goes up to officers and talks about like drunk driving and having weapons, being on drugs, having drugs. It's a real hoot and a holler.
I have a white sedan over there. I am drunk and I'm driving. I just want to let you know that. And I am a threat.
Alright, do you mind providing me with your ID?
Got him! That idiot didn't know that this guy was just lying for TikTok views. Epic. He fucking got him super swag style, actually. So, he's done this a few times, but this is the first time he ever tried it with an airport bomb threat, and well, let's just say justice is a dish best served with a side of ass. So he got arrested immediately, he'll likely be placed on a no-fly list, but he was released the following day after posting a $100,000 bond. Now, he didn't post that bond, that was 100% mommy and daddy's money coming to the rescue, protecting their sweet little boy. He didn't know any better. This goofball's still huffing Sharpies to get a little bit of a buzz. But his parents, he can do no wrong. It must be some kind of mistake with the law. What, you mean you can't call in a bomb threat? I thought this was a free country. So they bailed him out, and he immediately posted on TikTok about how amazing life is and how he wants to spread positivity.
Life is good though. I want y'all to see that life is great. Your life is great too. Have a good time, man. Have some fun.
Oh, that tugs on your heartstrings. Spread love. While this guy's entire online presence is about bothering as many people as possible and making their lives a little more miserable for the sake of his TikTok clout. If you really wanted to spread a positive message, he should be talking about the beauty of goof juice and how you can get it at gamersubs.gg/moist, the best flavor ever made. But instead, I'm sure he's going to go right back to these kind of pranks that he's become known for.
What would you like? Sam?
Man, I'm sorry. You don't work here.
He's lying now. Folks, it's my first day. Wait. No, I'm hella geek though. What are we doing? Whoa. You can't touch me.
Exploiting fast food workers. So positive, so strong, so brave. Yes, a beacon of love. What a hero. And I don't use that word lightly, but for someone like this, he's up there with firefighters, I think. A true prankster. Going there and just making all of the workers' lives a little bit worse because he's the main character. And we're all just NPCs, little props for him to use for his content. So, even though he regularly instigates different employees, especially the police, he's never done anything this stupid, his friend told them. And, well, he agreed. He's a big fucking idiot. He said he didn't realize the severity of what he was doing. which I don't think is a good defense. I think there is a level where you are dangerously stupid that you should still be charged and thrown in jail because you are not fit for society if you can't recognize that making a threat about blowing up an airport is a bad thing. He's currently facing a charge of threatening to use a weapon of mass destruction for an act of terrorism and could face a lengthy prison term if convicted. Fingers crossed. I'm praying that he faces a prison sentence because I really think pranksters like this need to be made an example out of because it is out of control. It is spiraled so far into lunacy. It's baffling. He's not the only one doing shit like this. This happens all the time with TikTok pranksters. And it's not just TikTok. I know there's YouTube pranksters that do similar shit. But there just needs to, at some point, be like a hard line in the sand where you just throw the book at one of these stupid assholes and hopefully it'll discourage copycats. Because right now, a lot of people, especially someone like him, sees that there's a lot of TikTokers that blow up from just being an asshole that people throw tomatoes at and shoot spitballs at for these really degenerate pranks. And even though they're getting a ton of hate, it's growing their brand. And to them, it's worth it. So it ends up poisoning and inspiring others to follow that same path to success. And it leads to shit like this where they're just constantly pushing the boundaries. I referenced a case earlier where someone charged at someone in a parking lot and got shot to death. Well, only like a year ago, you might remember we talked about that prankster who was harassing a guy at a food court and also got shot. He managed to survive and still swore to continue doing pranks. I haven't checked in on him in a while because fuck that guy. But it's one of those things where even a bullet isn't stopping pranks. As long as they're not being punished by the law here, it seems like it's all just going to continue to get even more silly and stupid. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this douchebag a little bit. I have a sneaking suspicion he's not actually going to have this huge change of heart and start posting positive content, spreading love or anything. I think he's going to view this as a potential lightning rod to his career, where he's going to double down on this type of prank. But that's just my hunch. I'm no Nostradamus or anything. We'll see how it plays out. But anyway, that's about it. See ya. Hey, what's going on? It's me, the #1 hater of harassment pranksters. Those putrid worms that mainly infest TikTok and go around filming themselves just trying to start confrontation with strangers for no reason other than getting a rise out of them for their content. And then the second that one of the victims starts to fight back, whether it's arguing or even trying to get physical, the sniveling cowards then do their best to go into panic mode, rapidly trying to de-escalate the situation they've caused. Like, chill, calm down. What are you getting so worked up about? I'm just pretending to be a mentally ill douchebag starting shit. God, it's so cringe that you're getting so upset. And then, like, the prankster starts getting offended. It's so fucking embarrassing. Anyway, today I stumbled across a tough guy who likes to do this kind of content on the elderly.
Whoa, watch your cart, tough guy. Parents didn't teach you no manners?
Guess not.
Guess not, man. Yeah, you need to watch yourself around there. Guys like you, easy pickings.
This poor loser really rolled a nat 1 in all of his stats. He's got a nasally voice that he's doing his absolute best, fighting for his life to hide, so he's trying to deepen it while talking to the older gentleman. Hey, you better watch where you're going, Buster. But you can hear it cracking through. It's like a child on Xbox Live pretending to be older by just making a deep voice sound. He's also got a dog shit, unlovable attitude, so I feel like he was probably bullied in high school with spitballs shot into the back of his head, and now that he's out of high school, he's trying to do something with his life, and this is what he's chosen here for some clout on TikTok. Just trying to harass an old man who is not playing ball with any of this garbage here. This old guy has the patience of a saint. This is the Zen master here. This guy doesn't engage at all, and yet this goober still continues to try.
You must be new around here, huh? It's your first time in Baltimore?
How about yourself?
I've lived here 25 years.
Liar, liar, job prospects on fire. You are not 25 years old. There is no chance of that. No shot whatsoever. I have to imagine he's maybe 20 at most. He's probably between 18 and 20 and just trying his absolute best to emulate the viral douchebags on TikTok that harass people. But he's so much of a little pussy that he's doing it to an elderly gentleman. Someone he knows is not going to fight back, because if he did this to anyone else in his age bracket, I bet he would have been fucking snapped in half. He sounds like a dweeb.
I'm just trying to get by, Pipsqueak. I need to get by this way. I got OCD, so I gotta walk around on the right every single time, you know? Yeah. Got a problem with me? Well, it seems like it.
Such a fucking strong, intimidating man. Wait till you see his next prank of taking candy from a baby. This guy is badass. I truly don't understand who watches this shit. Now, I know the easy default answer everyone goes to is kids, and 99% of the time I know they're right, but in a case like this is so pathetic that I feel like even children would be laughing at this guy. Like, even children would be insulting this dork. Like, just look at the way he's talking here. You got a problem with me? Pushes up glasses, readjusts fedora. Seems like you do. Like, no one's gonna even find that humorous. You're doing it to an extremely nice old man. You just look like a huge asshole and you're providing nothing of entertainment here. The old man is fucking clapping you by not responding and just, like, dismissing you as some kind of, like, you know, escaped mental asylum patient. Like, I don't know how you could ever upload this and not feel shame. This, I can't imagine the mind space to be in where you'd be proud of it. I really can't.
Standing here looking me in my eye, trying to do a stare down or something. I don't know what you're trying to do. I'm just trying to get my ice cream and go home. That's all.
Damn, what a hard line. The spiritual pressure around him just knocked out 5 different customers across the store when he said that. I'm just here to get my ice cream and go home. I don't want no problems, bub. I don't want no trouble. Jesus Christ. I'm just here to get my ice cream and go home. Yeah, mom says I need to be home by 9. This video is a little on the older side. It was at the end of last year, I believe. And not only did he go home, he also went offline, thank God. So it seems like a lot of people must have laughed him off of TikTok because the original account I can't find anymore. But these harassing older people pranks in public aren't uncommon. There's quite a few TikTok superstars that like to engage in that. One of them that blew up a while ago, also on the other side, is the one where people would just grab a hose at Home Depot or Lowe's and just spray random old people as they walked by.
This way. Oh, huh? Oh, how do you turn this off? Oh, snap. Oh, shoot. Oh, snap. Whoa, whoa. Oh, snap. Oh. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I'm trying to turn it off. I didn't know how to turn it off. I think it's off now. Oh, snap. Oh. Oh.
The caption says that the prank went wrong, which is the classic clickbait. This is getting off topic, but I'm actually somewhat nostalgic for the gone wrong phrase now, because that used to be such a massive clickbait meme like 10 years ago. And to see that it's been revived on TikTok is actually somewhat nostalgic. Like seeing an old, well, not friend, but like an old enemy that now you kind of have a soft spot for. Kind of like when you go back and rewatch SpongeBob, where as a kid, Squidward was like this big, mean guy, like real rude asshole. But now when you go back and watch it as an adult, you're like, nah, I kind of feel for him. That's how I feel about like the Gone Wrong title. But anyway, it's titled, you know, spraying people with the hose prank gone wrong. But nothing goes wrong, as is standard procedure for that title. Everyone he sprays here was super nice about it. They're like, hey, wait, what's going on? And he's like, oh, I just can't turn the hose off. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. No problems at all. At least not that I saw. Like, everyone was super, super sweet. He just sprayed them, and they were like, oh, man, what a bummer. But it's okay, you didn't mean to. But little do they know, that was the whole reason he was even out in public that day, just to make some people's lives a little less pleasant. Just to be a huge fucking nuisance and a big inconvenience to the people around him. And the spraying people with the hose prank actually did catch on. It's like a year old or so. This was pretty big for a little while, so there's a lot of videos of pranksters doing this one, and all of them seem to target exclusively elderly people. And the reason should be pretty obvious, because they know that they're not going to fight them, and if they do, they probably stand a good chance of winning the fight against them because they are old. actual fucking weenies here. And for some reason, it seems to be like old people is the main demographic that get targeted by these public nuisance pranksters. For some reason, well, I don't even know why I'm saying for some reason. We know the reason. They're not going to do this to someone that's actually going to beat their ass. Like, they're not going to get their shit pushed in by somebody for the sake of their TikTok videos. Like, we already saw that happen once and the guy ended up getting shot. So they're targeting older people because they feel more confident that there's not going to be something that's going to lead to them being hospitalized. It's just such a pathetic thing to do for some internet brownie points. Like, is there anything more shameful? Like, these are just complete strangers just going about their day like everyone else, and you just go out of your way to just be this cringe douchebag that tries to farm them for views on TikTok by harassing them, or in some cases even just like assaulting them. There are some degenerate pranksters on there, and a lot of it is targeted at older people. It sucks. But anyway, just wanted to insult them and talk about this a little bit since I saw that video of the shopping cart tough guy, the don't tussle with the muscle in the ice cream section. You might encounter the boogeyman. When I saw that, I just thought, I've got to just make fun of this guy and all of the other pranksters that do this kind of shit. So anyway, that's really about it. So yeah.